Once upon a time, in a lush green forest where the sun always shone warmly, lived three best friends: Roro the quick-thinking rabbit, Dodo the cheerful duckling, and Kiki the curious kitten. Their days were filled with laughter, games of hide-and-seek, and delicious picnics under the big oak tree. They thought they knew every single leaf and pebble in their home. But one morning, something magical and mysterious began to happen. As Roro, Dodo, and Kiki gathered for their morning adventure, tiny white flakes started to drift down from the sky, dancing and twirling in the gentle breeze. "What's that?" Kiki whispered, tilting her head as a tiny flake landed on her nose and melted. The trees, once green and full, began to sparkle as if they were decorated with tiny diamonds. The soft grass slowly disappeared under a fluffy white blanket. "It's snow!" quacked Dodo with excitement, flapping his little wings. He had heard stories of snow from birds who traveled far, but he had never seen it before. But our forest never snows," said Kiki, her fur fluffing up as she shivered a little. "It's so cold." Roro hopped around, his nose twitching. "It's like the whole forest has been covered in cold sugar," he exclaimed, tasting a tiny bit from a leaf. The forest they knew had transformed into a beautiful, glistening frozen valley. The friends were amazed by this strange new world. But their wonder was suddenly interrupted by a faint cry carried on the wind. "Help! Help! Someone please help me!" The sound was distant but filled with worry. The three friends looked at each other, their playful mood instantly turning to concern. The cry seemed to come from the direction of the old icy stone bridge, a landmark that now looked even more slippery and dangerous. Without a second thought, they raced towards the sound, their paws and feet crunching in the fresh snow. As they got closer, the cries grew louder. "I'm stuck! I can't get out!" There, wedged between two large, frozen rocks near the edge of the bridge, was a little bear cub. His fur was matted with snow, and his eyes were wide with fear. His paw was trapped, and with every passing minute, the ice around the rocks seemed to be getting thicker, gripping him tighter. "Oh no!" gasped Dodo. "We have to help him." Just then, a strong, icy wind began to howl through the valley, whipping snow into their faces. A wise old owl named Luna, who had been watching from a high branch, swooped down. "A blizzard is coming," she hooted, her voice low and serious. "The snow will get deeper, and the wind will grow stronger. You must act fast." The friends knew Luna was right. They had to get the baby bear free before the storm hit with its full force. The little bear, whose name was Benny, whimpered, "My paw is really stuck. Please hurry." Kiki tried to pull on the rock with her little paws, but it wouldn't budge. Dodo tried pushing from the other side, but it was no use. The rock was too heavy and frozen solid. Roro the rabbit, always the clever one, stopped and looked around carefully, his mind racing. He observed the heavy rock, the trapped paw, and the ground around them. "Pulling him won't work," Roro said thoughtfully. "The rock is too heavy for us to move just by pushing or pulling." He tapped his foot on the snowy ground. "But if we use a lever, we might be able to lift it." "A lever?" asked Dodo, confused. "What's a lever?" Kiki added, her whiskers twitching with curiosity. Roro smiled, feeling a spark of an idea. "It's a science trick. A lever is when you use something long and strong, like a big stick, and prop it on something small to lift something very heavy. It makes us much stronger." He explained his plan. They needed a long, sturdy branch to act as the lever, and a small, flat stone to use as the pivot point or fulcrum. Working together, they searched the frozen ground. Dodo found a perfect long branch, stiff and frozen, but incredibly strong. Kiki spotted a flat, smooth stone peeking out from under the snow. They quickly got to work. Roro directed them, showing them exactly where to place the flat stone close to the heavy rock, trapping Benny. Then, they carefully slid one end of the long branch under the edge of the big rock. Now, all three of them had to push down on the other end of the branch at the same time. "Okay, everyone, get ready!" shouted Roro. "We all have to push down as hard as we can on the count of 3. Benny watched with hopeful eyes. Dodo, Kiki, and Roro lined up, placing their paws and wings on the branch, ready. Kiki called out, 1, 2, 3. With all their might, the 3 friends pushed down. The branch creaked and groaned under the pressure. For a moment, nothing happened. But then, slowly, the heavy rock began to tilt. It lifted just an inch, but it was enough. "Pull your paw out, Benny, now!" Roro yelled. Benny quickly wiggled his paw free just as the friend's strength began to fade and the rock settled back down. "I'm free! I'm safe!" Benny cheered, shaking his paw and hopping with joy. He was so grateful. But their celebration was cut short. The sky had turned a dark gray, and the snow began to fall not in gentle flakes, but in a thick, swirling curtain. The wind howled louder than ever. "The blizzard is here!" cried Kiki, her fur whipped by the wind. "We need to find shelter. We'll all freeze out here." Just as panic began to set in, Luna the owl swooped down again. "Follow me," she hooted, her voice cutting through the wind. "I know a safe place." Trusting their wise friend, Roro, Dodo, Kiki, and their new friend Benny scrambled after Luna as she flew through the blinding snow. She led them through a narrow pass they had never seen before, to a hidden part of the valley. And then they saw it. Ahead of them, spanning a wide chasm, was a bridge unlike any they had ever imagined. It wasn't made of stone or wood. It was made entirely of glowing, clear ice crystals that sparkled with an inner light. It was a crystal ice bridge, shimmering with soft blues and purples. As they cautiously stepped onto it, a breathtaking sight appeared in the sky above. The dark, stormy clouds parted for a moment, revealing dancing ribbons of green, pink, and blue light. "Wow!" whispered Dodo in awe. "What is that?" Luna smiled. "That, little ones, is the Northern Lights, a rare and beautiful magic of the winter sky." Everyone stopped, mesmerized by the celestial ballet. Inside a warm, dry ice cave on the other side of the bridge, they all snuggled together, safe from the storm raging outside. By morning, the blizzard had passed. The sun came out, making the entire frozen valley sparkle and shine like a world made of diamonds. The air was crisp and clean. Benny, feeling warm and safe, gave each of his new friends a big, warm bear hug. "You saved me," he said happily. "I was so scared, but you didn't leave me." Roro smiled, looking at Dodo and Kiki. "We did it together," he said. As they walked back through the transformed forest, they knew they had learned something very important that day. They learned that even the biggest problems can be solved when friends work together. They discovered that thinking smart and using your brain is just as powerful as being strong. And most of all, they understood that true friendship is what makes every challenge an adventure and every day brighter. And so, the four friends continued their journey, their hearts full of courage, knowing that as long as they had each other, nothing was impossible. Thank you for watching our story. If you love the adventure of Roro, Dodo, and Kiki, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more exciting tales. See you next time!